Hello everyone, Luyren here. This is not a scripted video, a tutorial or anything, it's more like a devlog of sorts. So I decided to show a bit of what I want to work today, just because. Anyway, I have an energy behavior that I use to, well, it's energy for special skills. So if an actor, in this case here, use the fireball skill, well, it's got 0 here, but anyway, I can select a skill cost and the actor uses that as ammunition. And that's all fine and handy, but I only have one energy pool to use. So if I wanted to make a Mega Man clone of sorts, I wouldn't be able to use, I would have to make another behavior or something to handle different energy sets for each weapon. So I'll go over this behavior real quick and then my plans on how I want to update this thing. So I can set the starting energy, maximum energy. I can set the maximum energy for the character status behavior or combat statistics. Those are the same from my RPG elements. They are here. Well, I'm only setting here in character status. Anyway, these are display speeds for the gauge to slide back and forth as you gain or use energy. I've made display styles to have a gauge or icons like the hearts in Zelda. You can select the position of each one. What else? You can have the value of the energy recover show up and float up. That's what this option is. And there's a bunch of drawings. These are the same, basically the same options as my experience behavior from my RPG elements video. You can draw attributes, arbitrary text, there are gauges, vertical and horizontal, and select the color. Okay, so what I want to do is, first I want to use a map for each energy type I might need. So I won't be limited to any particular amount. I'll need a hidden map for the current value of each energy source, let's call it that, and a hidden map for the display value. So that's the value when you use energy, and then the behavior uses that value to move the gauge back and forth, basically. I need to see how I will use this character status or combat statistic option. What else? Right, on the display, I have the option to set animation for each icon. I need to find a way to change the animation based on the, let's say, energy source you have selected. So in the case of Mega Man, each weapon you have selected. I'll probably have this active energy source matched to the currently selected skill. That's from the use skill behavior, again on my RPG elements spec. What happens when you call the full heal trigger? So it needs to heal all the energy sources. Modify the custom blocks to accept a key. The drawing options down here, I need to have an option to either select use the active energy source or to draw specific ones, and I want to control individually the color of the gauge options. Also have to update the use skill behavior to make each skill use a specific energy source. So for instance, in Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, you have different spell levels, just like in Dungeons and Dragons, and each spell's level has its own energy pool. So I want a set of skills, if I want a set of skills to use the same energy pool, that's what this would help me do. I also have to update the party HUD behavior, which draws heads-up display for each party member. Save status, I'll have to replace the default values with those new maps I create. And for all the menus and skills, I have to account for this new energy source thing that I'm attempting to do. That's basically my plan. I'm not going to show the whole process because it might take a few hours, but I'll be back once everything is done to show what I got. See you later. So about 6 hours later, I sort of have it finished. Still working some kinks. Had to work a lot of dependencies, like the skills and whatnot, but anyway, here is how it's looking now. You select an active energy type to begin with. I left all the default values so the player ends up with only one energy type, as I'm calling them now. Anyway, you select the default energy type. You can configure as many energy types here now, and their maximum value can be tied to the character status behavior or the combat statistics behavior from my RPG Elements pack. So in the example of Mega Man, 8 weapons, 8 energy types, pretty much. The icons now have the option for 1 animation per energy type. Energy drawings for the horizontal gauge and vertical gauge now have an option to select the energy type or the currently active one. And I also had an option to select the color for those gauges by energy type. If all this work was worth it, it's yet to be seen, as I haven't done that much testing. And if I end up doing this again, I'll probably try to figure out how to do a time lapse. We'll see. Well, that's about it. Thanks for watching.